All right, it's a beautiful morning here in South Louisiana. Just a light northwest wind, gorgeous water, clear skies, and Joel and I have been on just a fantastic bass bite lately, just crazy good. And I know viewers often ask for catch and cooks. I love to cook, I cook all the time. So we're gonna do a special one today. It's gonna employ some of these bass that we're about to catch, hopefully. And if not bass, the recipe works equally well with redfish. Redfish have been tough to come by lately, but hopefully we'll run across one or two today. Conditions like this, I definitely like our chances. All right, if you've seen my recent videos, you know that Joel has been on just a tear throwing a green hornet matrix shad, and that's what he's starting with today. I'm kind of glad he is, because he's been killing the fish on that. I'm throwing this H&H Gold number 4 spinner with a 1/4 ounce death grip jig head and a shrimp creole matrix shad. Love this combination in pretty water and this water. Look at this, look at this water. That's pretty darn good. I'll take it. Water temp right now is 55 degrees, and that's of course right in that bass wheelhouse. My favorite fishing temperature in these marshes for catching bass is 52 to 58. So I love this water temp. We got a nice falling tide this morning, and the water's already low. It's already low to begin with. It's supposed to fall till about noon today, based on watching the buoy in recent days. A northwest wind might make it fall a little bit longer. That would be just fine with me. That nutria's gonna mess us up. Go right over the fish. We have to chase him down the bayou. I hate nutria. It's a little breezier than I thought today. Bump.
Bumpity bump.
Fish on, fish on.
Fish on.
All right, nice, nice, nice. Get him, Joel. Get him, Joel.
Nice.
All right, fish number 1. On the green hornet, of course. He will be delicious in our catch and cook. Yeah, there's no water. Just a lot of nutria. Right?
Yeah. Probably is way too far from here.
It's far, but it's not. There's a fish.
Fish on, fish on.
All right.
All right, 2 delicious fillets.
2 delicious fillets indeed. He was out in the middle of this. I mean, I don't know if you can tell how
There's no water.
there's just no water in this bayou. I mean, everything on either side of it is just bone dry. There's nutria everywhere. We're just covering water looking for fish. And fortunately, we're finding them. He was in the middle. I mean, I just kind of like stopped my spinnerbait and he smoked it. You got him? There you go, Joel. Look at that. Look at that. The water's so shallow, he was running side to side like a redfish.
This episode of Marshman Masson is brought to you by Puglia Sporting Goods.
All right, Joel and I made a move. That area we were fishing, man, it was just so shallow. It's not a very deep bayou to begin with, but with this water so low, just felt like we had to find a little bit more water. So we made kind of a big run. Now we've come into this area that has water that's not quite as good as what we left. Still not bad. Not bad at all, very good. But what we left was spectacular. And so we're just really focusing on bayous because the water's so low, that's where those fish should be stacked up. And obviously we want bayous with drains like this one. The wind's far more extreme than what the forecast said. It's supposed to be 5 to 10 today, but it's blowing north of 10, that's for sure. And it was initially, it was initially northwest, but now it's northeast. So that is gonna prevent this tide from falling too long. Fish on? Yes, fish on. Get him, Joel. Get him, Joel. Not a, oh, look at that. Not a bad bass, but he's captured. Good job, Joel.
Yes, fish on.
No way. Another bass.
Another bass.
I'm gonna have to switch.
It's gonna be delicious. Delicious for our catch and cook.
I'm gonna have to switch. Joel is spanking them on that green hornet. I'm throwing a Texas rigged Pro's Choice and June bug. But man, lately, just the jig head has been the key, particularly that green hornet. Another one?
Another one.
All right.
Another one.
We might have to spot lock.
Smoke it, son.
They stacked up right here, Joel. They're not touching this, I'll tell you that. Got him? Look at this. That's a good fish. That's a good fish. That's a keeper. Good job, Joel. All right, I'm gonna pull out the jig head.
This is another one.
All right, Joel's got another one.
This is a nice
It's a better fish. Is it a red? Nope, bass.
Oh my goodness.
Good fish. Nice fish.
Nice bass, dude. All right.
Now the question is, are they going to hit the shrimp creole, or is it going to have to be
The hornet.
green hornet?
Well, if it's just the hornet, you're in trouble.
Why is that our last one?
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Oh no way.
Dude, they're smoking it. They are smoking this thing. It's incredible. Oh, look at this guy.
It's called sabotage.
Sabotage, trying to slow me down. I'm on a roll.
Good fish, Joel. All right, I made one cast with a shrimp creole, not a bite.
Watch this. Too easy.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Goodness.
Dude,
Goodness.
going crazy.
They are stacked like cordwood.
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, just really good eaters. Really good eaters. I'd love to add a red to the mix, but I think it's just gonna be a bass day again. And this is just a bend in this bayou, as you can see. Oh, shoot. More than likely the channel runs on this side and sweeps across that way. There are sweet spots like this just all over the marsh. You just gotta stumble on them. And just because this one's holding fish today doesn't mean it will tomorrow, believe me. No idea how deep it is. Oh, but based on how long it's taken the bait to get down, I'm gonna say it's around 6 to 8 feet. That's a good bass, Joel.
Nice. That's a good one.
All right.
Good to eat.
Shrimp creole matrix shad. 1/4 ounce death grip jig head. And dinner. I gotta box Joel out. Oh, you feel that shell down there? Oh, there he is. There he is. Dude, what is this? A red? Come on, be a red. He hasn't come up yet at all. That could be a red, Joel. That's a red. I promise you. Or a nice bass. Let's see.
Oh, it's a big bass.
Good night.
Oh,
That's a gorilla bass. Get him, Joel. Just lip him. All right. This one will not be dinner because I'm not going to keep a bass this size. This is a tank. This is a gorilla. Look where he was hooked. Whew.
Dude, I got him. I got him.
Get him, Joel.
I got him. This is one for dinner right here. Oh, no.
17 and a half. Dude, this is a heavy fish too. I'll tell you what, he's heavy. We got all the ingredients for our special catch and cook. Next time you see me, I'll be in my kitchen. All right, and here we are in my kitchen. Actually, the trip you watched occurred yesterday. We're doing the cook portion the next day. Just got home and was too exhausted yesterday after catching just a million fish. So now we're well rested and ready to roll. And I'm gonna show you this recipe, and trust me, you're gonna wanna do it, you're gonna love it. It's easy and it's very, very good.
This episode of Marshman Masson is brought to you by H&H Lure Company, and by Versamax Corks, and by Bill Lewis Lures, and by Plaquemines Parish, and by Delta Marina.
There's some ingredients here that are absolutely essential. There's some others that are optional, and I'll tell you which ones those are. But let's go through the ones that I'm going to use today. First of all, I got some Zatarain's liquid crab oil. Far, far better than the powdered crab oil. It's all you have is a powdered crab oil, you can make do, but this is better. Got some plain old iodized salt. Got some blue plate mayo. Got some bread and butter pickles. A Vidalia onion. Some celery. Craisins. And cashews. You can use any nuts for this, but what I have is cashews. If I had pecans, I'd rather use those, but I don't have any, so cashews are fine. All right, first order of business, add some water to our pot. All right, I don't ever measure anything, as you know. We've talked about that before. Just want to put a little bit of crab oil in my pot. A little bit goes a long way, believe me. And we're also going to add some salt. Pretty generous amount. I'm gonna say maybe about a cup. I don't know, maybe a little bit less than that. Don't want the fish to be too salty, but you definitely want them to carry that seasoning. All right, we'll cover the pot, let that come to a boil. And while that's happening, we'll cut up our vegetables. All right, I've got a Vidalia onion here because they're just better, particularly if you're gonna eat them raw, which we're gonna do. But any onion will work. You got a yellow onion, white onion in your fridge, just use that, it's fine. All right, I realized the bowl I'd taken out was a little small for the batch I'm planning to make, so I got a bigger bowl. I'm gonna put all my onions in there. Got a full onion. It's a lot of onion, but I'm making a really big batch. Next, we're gonna go with 2 or 3 stalks of celery. I think 3 should do it. All right, our celery to our bowl. Next we'll do our cashews. I want a ton, just enough to give it a little bit of crunch. Now craisins. And in case you haven't realized it yet, what we're making is fish salad. Sounds gross, but it's not. It's so good. Everybody loves it. Now, craisins are totally optional for this. You really don't have to use them. I don't use a ton. Just like a little bit of that kind of tart sweetness in there. It's really good. All right, now we're going with the pickles, and I've got to tell you, I really feel like this is an essential ingredient. I know some people don't like pickles, and I'm sure you can make this without the pickles, and it would be okay. This is just so important to me. The bread and butter pickles it just works. It just does something for this dish. So I put a lot in. I want a lot. As I said, I'm making a big batch, so we're gonna go with a bunch of pickles. All right, we're getting near the end. This is one of the final ingredients. I really like blue plate mayo. Any mayo will work. This to me has the best taste, but if you got a favorite, just use that. All right, but before we add the mayo, I just noticed our water's boiling, so let's put our fish in there. Few things smell better than crab oil. Boys, it smells good in here. Add our fillets just right to the water. You don't have to use cheesecloth or anything like that. These bass hold together really well, so do redfish. All right, these do not take long at all. I mean, they cook really, really quickly. Basically, what I kind of do is watch for the water to come back to a boil, and usually by that time, they're about done. They will float when they're done. All right, while those are about to come to a boil, we're gonna add our mayo. And the mayo to me is like the pickles, I want a lot of it. You don't want a dry fish salad. You want a really, really moist, delicious fish salad. When you think you have enough mayo, add some more. All right, that may be enough, but we'll see when we add the fish. All right, our water hasn't quite come to a boil, but our fish is beginning to flake. It's also all rising to the top. So that's the indication to me that it's really, really close. I'm gonna give it about 30 more seconds. I'm gonna shut off the fire. I'm gonna let the fish soak in some of that seasoning, probably just about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and dump them. All right, now we're gonna stir it up in our colander, kind of break these fish fillets up, turn them into flakes. This also helps it to cool off. If you like your fish salad hot, no problem. You can go ahead and mix it. If you're gonna eat it maybe later in the day, just let it cool off first. All right, now it's time to dump our fish into our salad. And then you just mix it all together. We made a pretty good amount of fish. I'm really thinking we're probably gonna need more mayo, but we'll see. All right, it's a little bit dry. I like it with a lot of mayo, so we're gonna add a little bit more. And by a little bit, I mean a lot more. I don't think this is heart healthy. All right, that's all there is to it. I'm telling you, such a simple dish that is so good, and you can eat on this for days. I typically take it fishing because it travels really well. You can put it on crackers or a sandwich or whatever. I'm gonna take a bite and taste this. Sometimes I actually add a little bit of seafood seasoning like Tony Chachere's or Louisiana fish fry seasoning, whatever, just to give it a little more kick, but it may not need it. We'll see. I'm gonna taste it right now. It needs nothing. It's absolutely perfect just the way it is. Delicious. All right, well, hopefully you enjoyed the video and got something out of it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the Marshman Masson channel on YouTube. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're notified whenever we post a new video. And until next time, if we don't see you in the marsh or right here in the Marshman Masson kitchen, we'll see you right here on Marshman Masson.